If you're watching this right now, don't blink, because what you're about to hear starts with heartbreak, but ends with hope so powerful it can change the way you see people forever. And before this story ends, I promise you'll understand why one small, silent moment in a restaurant changed an entire life. If stories like this touch your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more real, meaningful stories like this to you. On a cold Tuesday evening, when the dinner rush had finally slowed, Sarah adjusted her apron and took a deep breath. She was 32, a single mother of a 6-year-old boy named Ethan, and exhaustion had become her closest companion. Her feet ached, her back throbbed, and her smile, though genuine, was held together by sheer willpower. This diner wasn't fancy. Vinyl booths, chipped mugs, the smell of coffee that never quite left the air. But it paid the bills, or at least helped her chase them. Rent was due in 5 days. Ethan's school had sent another note about unpaid lunch fees. And the electric bill sat folded in her purse like a quiet threat. That's when he walked in. Everyone noticed him instantly. Not because he was loud or demanding, but because he didn't belong. His suit was perfectly tailored, dark and expensive. His watch caught the light with a subtle gleam. He moved calmly, confidently, like a man used to being anywhere he wanted. The other servers whispered. One of them murmured, "That's him. The tech billionaire. I saw him on the news." Sarah didn't care who he was. To her, he was just another table, table 12 by the window. She approached him with her usual warmth. "Good evening, sir. Coffee?" He nodded politely, barely looking up from his phone. His voice was calm, controlled. "Black. Thank you." Throughout the meal, he remained quiet. He ordered simply soup, a sandwich, nothing extravagant. Sarah checked on him like she did with everyone else, refilling his coffee, offering extra napkins. He thanked her every time, his tone neutral but not unkind. Still, something about him felt distant, like he was carrying a world of thoughts no one else could see. As she wiped down the counter nearby, Sarah overheard 2 customers whispering. They talked about how he was worth billions, how ruthless he was in business, how he once fired hundreds of people with a single email. Sarah tuned it out. She'd learned long ago that rumors didn't pay bills. When he finished, he placed his credit card neatly on the edge of the table. Sarah picked it up, ran the payment, and returned with the receipt. She placed it down with a practiced smile and said, "Thank you. Take care." He nodded, stood, adjusted his coat, and left without another word. Sarah waited a moment before picking up the receipt. Tips were unpredictable. Some nights were good. Others were brutal. But as she glanced down, her stomach dropped. Tip, $0. She stared at it longer than she should have. Her chest tightened. Not anger, just a deep, tired sadness. Billionaire or not, $0 felt like a message she'd heard too many times before: you don't matter. She swallowed hard, folded the receipt, and told herself to move on. Cry later. Always later. As she reached to clear the table, she noticed the plate hadn't been moved. Something was underneath it, peeking out slightly. A folded piece of paper. Not a receipt. Not a napkin. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. Inside was a handwritten note. For the waitress who smiled even when she didn't have to. Her breath caught. Under the note was a folded cashier's check. Her eyes widened as she unfolded it. $20,000. Sarah felt the room spin. Her first thought was that it had to be a mistake. A prank. Something unreal. She checked the name, it was his. The billionaire's real name, printed clearly. Her knees weakened, and she sat down in the booth, clutching the paper like it might disappear. The note continued on the back. I left no tip on purpose. I wanted to know if you'd still treat me kindly without expecting anything in return. You did. That tells me more about your character than any resume ever could. This isn't charity. This is respect. Tears streamed down her face before she could stop them. Her manager rushed over, concerned. "Sarah, what's wrong?" She showed him the check. His eyes widened. He sat down slowly. "Is this real?" "I think it is," she whispered. I think my life just changed." That night, Sarah drove home in silence, the check resting on the passenger seat like a fragile miracle. When she walked into their small apartment, Ethan ran to her, holding a crayon drawing. "Mommy, look! I made us a house with a big sun." She knelt down and hugged him tightly, crying into his hair. For the first time in years, her tears weren't from fear. Over the next few days, everything shifted. She paid the rent, cleared the bills, paid off the school lunches. But she didn't quit her job. Not yet. Instead, she used part of the money to enroll in a nursing program she'd once dreamed about but never thought possible. She started a savings account for Ethan. For the future. Weeks